Right, here we are at number 2 and 3 Sunnybrow. What the crack is we've been doing quite a bit of work for over a week and a half, 2 weeks now. We're just going to fill you in on what's been going on and how we're fighting the battle. We've got an ex-police officer, he's allowed us to use his first name, so we'll call him Michael, who's been helping us and advising us on what laws that the police have broken. We're also been talking to various other people who are going to be bringing a barrister on board in the next couple of days. We've had quite a lot of people coming and viewing the place because apparently it's now what website is it?
Bernard Marcus.
Bernard Marcus in London again, and they've dropped the price from £30,000 now to £10,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. We've had loads of people come in, pulling up outside to have a look at the house. But every single person that has pulled up, we've shown them the paperwork, and they've all gone, "Oh my God, we feel so sorry for your family. What can we do to help?" Which is absolutely fantastic. We only hope that more people will come and have a look at the paperwork for themselves to see how corrupt the banks are, the mortgage companies are, how corrupt the police force have been involved in all of this, and of course the security firm is something to be mentioned as well. What's the name of the security firm? Protect.
Yeah.
Protect. Yeah, they're the people who have kind of been putting people in the house as security guards. The security guards have been in the house 24/7 so we don't break back into the house. Some of them, we've got recordings now of them. They haven't even been carrying the licences, which we've been informed by an ex-police officer who's on our team, who's saying they can get anything up to 6 months for not having the card and for not having it on display while they're working, and we've got footage on them not doing that. One of their members of staff didn't even have the card on them, and they'd only just passed the training. So God knows how they passed the training when they forget to even bring their identification to work. On top of that, these people have been employed to look after the house during the night, but you see the bedroom lights going on in the night and then going off, so obviously they're getting their heads down, they're not even working, they're sleeping through their shifts. So I've took it upon myself to wake them up by throwing stones up on the roof and keep them awake and torment them a little bit, eh? Right, what we're going to talk about now is a little bit about what's going on with how we're taking it on the legal side and what steps and measures we are taking to get it back into the courts. Kenny's been doing a lot of research. He's been a big player in this. He's been digging out all the ifs and buts, all the holes that are within the mortgage in the first place. Here we go. Let's get on to Kenny and find out what's been going on. Right, Kenny, how we've been getting along, what we've been doing.
Well, what we're doing at the minute is we've been going through the court bundle that was supplied for the first case, and we've been looking at that, and we've discovered that there's lots of irregularities in the underwriter's report, the application that was made, the initial application form that was made, and the I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's the completion report. In the underwriter's report, there's been absolutely no evidence of any no, it's not consideration. It's no evidence of an affordability check.
Yeah.
Which means that when the mortgage was first taken out, it was a self-certified mortgage, and the figures used for the self-certification, they were never checked up to see if they were correct, and the figures used for the commitments for the outgoings for the family seem to be totally unrealistic. So it's my view that the mortgage shouldn't have been given in the first place, and it's actually it's a void mortgage. So that's what we're busy doing at the minute. We're busy preparing an appeal and showing up all the discrepancies, using case law and statute to be able to get this case back into the court and to get the mortgage overturned and to get Glenys House back.
Right, can I ask you a little bit about the case law that you found last night, that's very relevant to Glenys's case, and how closely knit it is to the case law that you found last night?
It's a case in Northern Ireland. It's Melbourne Mortgages Limited versus Gerard Barry, and the cases are very, very similar. And the defendant in this case actually won for it's actually called irresponsible lending. That's through the Consumer Credit Act 1974, Section 25(2)(b), and that states that mortgage providers have to carry out the correct checks to make sure the mortgages are affordable for anybody that's taking out a mortgage. And if they don't do the correct checks, then it's the lenders themselves that are at fault. And in this case, it seems that was a case, and it's very similar to the case that Glenys herself has got at the minute. So
you also had some other points that you picked out, which will go well for the what's it called, the
appeal.
The appeal, there was 3 or 4 points that you'd got that we can go on the appeal on, which wasn't even looked at, and one of them was something to do with the judge had said themselves that they hadn't seen the full paperwork, but yet they'd made the decisions to repossess the house even though they hadn't seen the full bundle of evidence against the mortgage companies.
There was a hearing on the 22nd of January this year, where Glenys herself and John Natras had turned up to the hearing, and the Judge Temple, she turned around and she says that no judge, not even herself, had looked through the whole bundle, and we believe this is a breach of Glenys's human rights, because she didn't get a fair trial, a fair hearing. And this is Article 6 of the Human Rights Act, which is a right to fair hearing. And we can't see how it would be possible for Glenys to get a correct hearing if no judge has looked at all the facts of the case, which is what this judge said. So we're going to appeal on human rights issues as well, using that point there.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, a bit of comfort. We've had a bit of a confident booster today, haven't we? Quite a lot of people have turned up, like I say, and give some good advice on how much further we can take this. Because once we get we're waiting on the timeline getting written up by one of the Truth Machine helpers called Six. She's putting a timeline together of everything that's been going down from start to finish. So the judge can get a better understanding of what's been said and what hasn't been said within the hearing that's going to be taking place shortly when we get it back in the court. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. She's busy preparing a timeline for, and we're going to use that to pass out to relevant people that are interested in this case. There's a barrister that you mentioned earlier on, and there's a few other people that would like to get this out to and get some advice back of them as well. Yeah,
I'd just like to say at this point, man, that as far as helpers are concerned, like, I'm absolutely thrilled to bits to be able to have an ex-police officer approach us and say, look, we can help, I can help, I'm willing to pour some time. And I'll tell you what, this guy has really poured his time into it, hasn't he? He's spent a lot of time doing a lot of research for us, refining the letters that we've been putting together to make sure it's all legally correct. We're not doing this through common law, as some people may be suspecting. There's been a lot of gossip about on the Truth Machine website that you're going to fail just like Tom, and Tom deserves everything he gets and things like that. We are fighting fire with fire. We're fighting this with their own rules, and their own rules are going to bury them. And if they don't bury them, it's going to expose how much corruption is rife and runs through the system that we vote for in our country. We're going to expose how corrupt it is, because by rights, Glynis should be getting a house back. By what we've seen, what we've learned, that's the law, Glynis should be getting a house back. And if she doesn't, like I say, it's going to just show everybody how corrupt this system's got. You know, we've been tracing people who are involved in judgments, people involved in Redstone mortgages to be Freemasons. We've been, you know, digging up all sorts of things, but we're going to expose some more of this at a later date. We've got to keep some things behind to put in the public eye at a later date when the rest of the information has been put together. So this is just like a little taste to everybody to sort of make you aware of what lines we're going down in order to get this thing beat. And it can be beat. It's about getting it put right in the courts. I'd also like to mention, and these people know who I am talking about, who have had a go with Glynis and they've failed her miserably. There's two people in particular. Now, these people are still promising that they're going to come back and give statements and things like that, and they're just not doing it. They're not on board. They're pretending to be on board. They're kind of half wound up. They're not fully wound up to the situation. They're using people's plight to try and get a good name for themselves. Now, you guys know who you are. You definitely know who you are, and I hope you're watching this and start getting your shit together and acting on what you say, rather than just telling bullshit to people and not going ahead with what you're supposed to be doing with helping Glynis. So yeah, get your asses down here and do what you said you was going to do. Anyway, Glynis, on a happy note, we'll finish this on a happy note. You had some beautiful news a couple of days ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
I can see you smiling now. It's not very often we see you smiling at the minute. Come on, what's gone on?
Got a new grandson.
You've got a new grandson.
Yeah, 13th of July.
Beautiful. What's his name?
Danton.
A dancer. And
He's beautiful.
Yeah. He came down to the war zone, like, to get a feel of the place. Like, you know, he's 2 days old, bless him. Yeah, quick visit. A bit gutting that Glynis can't take the young'un into the house and look after him and stuff. It had to be a quick visit, bless her. You know, it must be hard for her, you know, having a grandson coming to see her, and she can't even bring him into the caravan. You know, I mean, the place is hard enough to keep clean. There's got to be bottled water brought every day. There's people, we need like food parcels and things like that, if they can be sent to the address. It's number 2 and 3 Bridge Street, SUNNYBROW. You know, the whole family's here. They're feeding the activists that are here, helping out as well. The family are, for people who can't afford to feed themselves and that. So out like that it'd be brilliant if you could send some food parcels in the post. Can you give us the postcode?
DL15.
DL15
0NA.
0NA. Okay. Right, over and out YouTube. Please keep watching these videos. Treat all these videos that I'm putting out there as a series. You've got to watch them from start to finish. You know, I'm asking people to watch them from start to finish to get the full picture of what's been going down with this family so far. Anyway, over and out YouTube. Peaceful Pro. Test.